retirement funds are all of a sudden some money that they just, oh my gosh, I got this money, I don't know what to do, I'm not so sure about the taxes. So let's have somebody talk to us about this is the subject of money, I guess. Gene Goldman is the Chief Investment Officer and the Director of Research at Cetera Investments. He's talking to us about the mid-year market outlook. So let's find out about this. Advice is always a good thing, right?
It is, especially in this arena.
Gene Goldman, it's an honor to have you on the show. Good morning.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Robin. Love hearing about the Florida weather this morning. Sounds great.
And where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm in Los Angeles, so it's gotten really warm. It's gotten really cold here. Now it's about 65 degrees here, so we're really frigid over here.
See, I love LA. We'll probably be out there in September-ish, is what we're thinking. Yeah. So let's use that as a starting point. Would the advice to somebody needing money advice be different in LA than it might be in Central Florida?
No, I think we think investing right now, I think obviously, we're in a very interesting time period. What we've been saying is that we just finished our mid-year outlook and we're calling it mixed signals. There's lots of mixed signals in the world today about the markets. One side, in the U.S., we're seeing data is cooling. Manufacturing data is slowing. Consumer confidence came down today to a 2-year low, but data overall is still very expansionary. 50-year low in unemployment, more jobs than people looking for jobs, so that's positive. Valuations are a little high, but they could weaken because of earnings weakness. And then the last point, the bond market is saying a really big mixed signal. It's saying that yields are low. They're concerned about something in the future. But at the same time, high yield, the risky parts of the bond market are saying great times are ahead. So lots of mixed signals in the market. So whether you're in Florida or California, expect market volatility as the market digests these changes.
And does the market depend on foreign trade relations?
Oh, of course. That's a huge catalyst. This weekend, we all know the G20. We all keep talking about the G20 meeting. And, the U.S. and China are expecting to sit down. And we could see some type of resolution or some type of, good news coming out of it, we hope. We do believe both sides are very incented to get this done as soon as possible. Because you're seeing the effects on both economies, both stock markets. You saw it happen in May. And then lastly, why we think the U.S. will actually do better is demographics. Chinese demographics are really changing. They have a very aging population. Case in point, 2017, lowest birth rate in China since 1961. Lowest birth rate, aging population. It's hampering their ability to go to a consumer-driven economy, which the trade war is hampering all those effects. I think we have a good opportunity.
And did Theresa May step down affect anything?
I think Theresa May step down is interesting. It's probably expected. I think the bigger issue is Europe as a whole. That's one of our big worry spots. Europe is having a tough time. You've got growing populism, so you saw with Brexit, you saw it in Italy and Spain, so this is causing pressure on debt to GDP ratios. Other aspects of just economic weakness in Europe. Our GDP in the first quarter was around 3%. In Europe, it's 1.6%, and looks like it's worsening. We saw some data today that was not that great. So Europe is having a tough time.
So if we partner with Cetera as individuals, is that different than partnering with you, for example, as a business?
It's the same thing. So we're a broker dealer. We have 8,000 advisors all across the country. They're very independent, looking at trying to find the best investment recommendations possible for you and your clients and your listeners. So providing the best investment advice that we can offer all over the country.
Does the ease of information in today's world, does that make it easier for somebody, or is it still better to actually sit across the desk from a financial advisor?
I think it's both. Information ease is definitely useful. So, like, for example, Twitter and other tools that we can use to disseminate information. But at the end of the day, sitting across from an advisor, and this is what the key point for our advisors, sitting across, understanding, seeing your emotions, seeing understanding how you think about your perspectives, your concerns. That's very, very important because, our advisors create personalized solutions for each of their clients. And it's based on, your situation, Larry, your situation, Robin, as opposed to just doing a blanket cookie cutter approach. Our advisors to the class from their investors and clients and really focus on creating something specific for that specific investor and client.
How often should we reevaluate our finances? Twice a year or more often?
I'd say twice. I'd say more often than twice a year. I'd say once a quarter when you get a quarterly statement. It's always good to be aware of what's going on in the market, what's affecting the market, looking at data. Why is gold today at the last time I was at this level was since March of 2013. Looking at information is always good to review, but that's the work of your advisor to help you navigate that. But looking at your accounts, especially since we are in the longest bull market ever, it's great news. But a lot of our accounts, a lot of people have had too much risk in their portfolios. Now's a good time to reduce some of that risk and sitting down with your advisor to get you and rebalance you back to where you should be is very appropriate today.
Since there are some college students today that appear that they don't want to repay their student loans, what should parents of potential college students do and invest in so they have enough money for their children to go to college?
Yeah, obviously the news has come out recently in terms of, some Democratic candidates in terms of, canceling student loans. Obviously the devil's in the details in terms of how this will be paid for. Right now we have $22 trillion U.S. national debt. I mean, that's highest since World War II as a percentage of GDP. So it's a lot of debt. So how they pay for this is interesting. I think, definitely saving for college is important. I think college, obviously the world is changing with artificial intelligence in terms of what types of degrees are going to be very important going forward. But definitely college, definitely the skill sets are definitely going to be very important going forward.
This is a lot of research that you have done into this arena to make sure that people like Larry and myself, have all the advantages to give in the future.
So we have
No, it's okay. There seems to be a delay, and I wasn't sure if you heard what Robin had to say there. I wanted the listeners to know how to find out more information. Is the website a good place to start?
Sure, definitely. Our website is cetera.com, so CETERA.com. There's also a Twitter page. On Twitter, it's Cetera, CETERAIM, like investment management. We post a ton of data and information constantly about the markets, about what's going on in the economy. Great tool, great source to narrow down all the information to one simple source.
Very good. Gene Goldman, it's been an honor. Thank you for being on the show with us today.
Robin, thank you. Larry, thank you so much. I look forward to talking to you guys very soon. Thank you again.
Thank you. All right, we'll be right back.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. Iran lashing out at the U.S. for new sanctions. President Hassan Rouhani calling the penalties outrageous and idiotic.
The White House actions mean it is mentally retarded.
In addition to sanctions against Iran's supreme leader, the Trump administration also sanctioned Iranian commanders in its Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. U.S. officials say were responsible for the shootdown of the U.S. surveillance drone Thursday and attacks on those 6 oil tankers in recent weeks.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson, the U.S. insists the sanctions will bring Iran to the negotiating table.
On his second day on the job, President Trump's new acting defense secretary, Mark Esper, heads to NATO headquarters in Brussels to convince allies to work with the Trump administration on these new Iran sanctions.
And a new study warns that some commonly prescribed drugs for things like depression and bladder control could be linked to higher risk of dementia. This is Fox News.
With the Discover It Miles card, you can go further than you've ever gone before. Like sun on your face, book in your hand, kids playing in the sand further. Because the Discover It Miles card offers unlimited 1.5 miles on every purchase and will automatically match all the miles you earn at the end of your first year. So that means your 35,000 miles could become 70,000. It's just that easy. So get out there with your Discover It Miles card today. Limitations apply. Discover match for new card members only. Learn more at discover.com/travel.
At Carmacks, when we say we buy all the cars, we mean it. Over the last 20 years, we've purchased millions of cars from coast to coast. In the last year alone, we've bought a mountain of Mercurys, an armada of Nissans, a ton of Titans, an ocean of Pacificas, and a sea of Siennas. Not to mention a few Hellcats and a couple of Tornadoes. So no matter what you're selling, Carmacks is buying. And we'll buy your car even if you don't buy ours. Carmacks, we buy all the cars.
Sunshine and some clouds on this Tuesday. There can be a thunderstorm around this afternoon, although mainly dry conditions along the coast. The high 92 at the coast, 96 inland. For Tuesday night, an evening thunderstorm, otherwise clear to partly cloudy. Those 74 inland, 79 at the coast. For Wednesday, partly sunny with a pop-up shower or thunderstorm during the midday and afternoon hours. High 91 at the coast, 96 inland. Thursday, partly sunny, an afternoon shower or thunderstorm, high 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Visit Southeastern Trailers today. We have new and used enclosed cargo and open utility trailers, along with built-to-order trailers. We service all brands of cargo and utility trailers, installation of hitches, wiring and electric brake controls, and installation of trailer accessories, with locations in Ocala and Ormond Beach to serve all of Central Florida. Call 1-888-622-1816. Again, that's 1-888-622-1816.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen Silver Springs. We want to thank Marion County for 45 years of loyalty. We love this wonderful community, so come on down to Dairy Queen Silver Springs and get some of our great food and ice cream. We have a number of great meal deals that include dessert at a better price than anyone in the industry. Our products are made fresh to order just for you. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Here are today's headlines from the source, WOCA. Florida schools will help students plan for careers even if they don't want to seek a 4-year college degree under an education bill signed by Governor Ron DeSantis. DeSantis signed the bill yesterday at the Space Florida offices in Merritt Island. Besides promoting career and technical training, the new law will also require that schools teach financial literacy and allow students to use computer science courses to help meet math and science graduation requirements. It will also provide help for students who want to return to college if they are a few credits short of earning a degree. It requires that schools provide a course in career and education training for middle school students. SpaceX launched its heftiest rocket with 24 research satellites yesterday, a middle-of-the-night rideshare featuring a deep space atomic clock, solar sail, a clean and green rocket-fueled test bed, and even human ashes. It was the third flight of a Falcon Heavy rocket, but the first ordered by the military. The Defense Department mission, dubbed STP-2 for Space Test Program, is expected to provide data to certify the Falcon Heavy and reused boosters for future national security launches. It marked the military's first ride on a recycled rocket. Both side boosters landed back at Cape Canaveral several minutes after liftoff, just as they did after launching in April. But the new core booster missed an ocean platform, not unexpected for this especially difficult mission, according to SpaceX. NASA signed up for a spot on the rocket along with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the Air Force Research Laboratory, the Planetary Society, and Celestis Incorporated, which offers memorial flights into space. An astronaut who flew on NASA's first space station back in the 1970s, Skylab's Bill Pogue, had a bit of his ashes on board along with more than 150 other deceased people. Pogue died in 2014. The Deep Space Atomic Clock by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory is a technology demo aimed at self-flying spacecraft, barely the size of a toaster oven. The clock is meant to help spacecraft navigate by themselves when far from Earth. NASA also was testing a clean and green alternative to toxic rocket and satellite fuel. The Air Force Research Laboratory had space weather experiments on board, while NOAA had 6 small atmospheric experimental satellites for weather forecasting. The Falcon Heavy is the most powerful rocket in use today. Each first-stage booster has 9 engines for a total of 27 firing simultaneously at liftoff from NASA's Kennedy Space Center. A total of 50 dogs and 34 cats were rescued from a small mobile home in Suwannee County. Deputies say you could smell a strong odor of feces and urine from 50 yards away. These animals were malnourished and living in terrible conditions, but this was not the first time deputies removed animals from the home. 54-year-old Jennifer Divniak had been arrested and charged with 84 counts of aggravated animal cruelty. The home was covered in feces and urine and filled with animals who deputies say Divniak says she collected as strays. The animals were taken to the Suwannee County Animal Shelter, which was already at full capacity. The Ocala Star-Banner is reporting that a 55-year-old Ocklawaha man was arrested after sheriff's deputies say he fired birdshot at passing motorists. William Maymard Martin III has been charged with 2 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and 1 count of firing a missile into a vehicle. 2 18-year-old men told deputies they were traveling in the 17,300 block of Southeast 95th Street when a shirtless man shot at the Jeep they were in. Deputies say one teen had injuries to his face and left arm by what appeared to be a birdshot. The other teen was hit on the right pinky. The birdshot was not expected to cause permanent injuries. Deputies found Martin at his home. At first, he denied shooting at anyone, but later told deputies he fired at the Jeep with his .410 shotgun because the passing motorists were speeding and revving their engines. Tiger Woods is no longer a defendant in a wrongful death lawsuit filed by the parents of a drunken driver who died in a car crash. Attorneys for the parents of Nicholas Immesberger filed an amended complaint on Friday in Palm Beach County Court, dropping Woods from the suit. The complaint still targets the Woods restaurant in Jupiter, in which the pro golfer is an investor, and restaurant general manager Erica Herman, who is in a relationship with Woods. The lawsuit filed in May says Immesberger, who worked at the Woods, was served excessive amounts of alcohol before the December 10th crash. It says Herman recruited Immesberger as a bartender there despite knowing that he was an alcoholic. It alleges restaurant employees, managers, and owners let Immesberger drive after being overserved alcohol. Months after workers who play Mickey Mouse, Goofy, and other characters at Walt Disney World threatened to leave the Teamsters Union because of what they called horrible misrepresentation, General President James Hoffa appointed 2 associates yesterday to take over the local union. A letter from Hoffa was posted to the doors of the local 3